Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Oh yeah, Dean. Richmond in the twilight here. It's going to be a great race.
Absolutely. It will be a great race. There's no doubt about that. And for anybody watching, we got a little bit of an issue going on with the internet here tonight. So I'm sure it's a little bit choppy out here. Not sure what's going on. We got some frames per second problems and some other problems going on. Don't know exactly why this is. But we will try to get all of that sorted out here for you. Jason, you look at this race here at Richmond. What are your thoughts on the track?
Well, Dan, it's a 3/4 mile short track that drives kind of like a speedway. It's a pretty well banked track, and it drives really fast. These guys are gonna definitely be wanting to hit the bottom. Staying on the bottom is gonna be the place to be. They may venture up that second lane probably later in the run. I'm not sure if anybody's really gonna go high and try and make things work, but it's definitely gonna make for an interesting night and seeing what these guys do and what lanes they choose.
So yeah, we have stopped Facebook, so everything gonna sort itself out over on YouTube. Facebook problems here tonight, Jason. Got me a little rattled, but not enough to get me completely off my game here. Let's get a look in on our championship standings. Of course, the championship led by Mr. Adam Newton out here, and of course now the apps don't want to show up. The struggles continue here tonight.
That's with anything else, dude. You know, just when you need it to work, it doesn't work. But we'll make it work either way.
That's exactly right. We certainly will. So we just work on this momentarily, folks. Hopefully something starts to work around here. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Look at that. Adam Newton leading the way. Now, these are unofficial here, folks. So, Newton in first place. You got Bernard Person sitting in second. And he's doing a whale of a job out here trying to close in this gap to Newton, the heavy leader. Claus Williams in third again, unofficially. I think Williams officially might be in second by 1 point. We'll have to get a look at that. Greg Ratliff in third. It's Austin Hunn fourth. You got Ripka, Bruce, Jackson, Leal, and Travis in your top 10 here tonight. Get a look in on our track here, Jason, and maybe you can just tell the people a little bit about Richmond Raceway here.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Richmond is 3/4 mile, a short track, races like a speedway. It's got big sweeping corners. The front stretch is almost one continuous corner. You're always turning left through the front stretch. And it's a fun track. Like I said, that low line is going to be key, I believe.
Yeah, low line going to be key. Rolling the corners going to be key. Lots of keys to success out here tonight. Let's go ahead and look in on our qualifying, or in our starting order, I should say. You got George Leal sitting on the pole here tonight with a time of 21:424, the 97 with the blistering lap. It's Lance Ripka on the outside of row number 1. Claus Williams and Nate Maurer will take on row 2. Jason Jackson and Adam Newton in row 3. You got Whitford and Person in 4. Lester and Hardy in row 5. Hund and Spear in row 6. You look a little further back in the pack. Row 7 is Bruce and Leal, followed by Ledford, Octaviani, Ware, Knight, Olson. Not you, Mr. Jason Martin. You're in the booth tonight. Daryl Spear, George Dibble, Cale Seaman, Mike Brown rounding out your field. So Leal in prime position here this evening, sitting on the pole. Leal bringing that natural light machine out there. That's good for anybody out there playing the home drinking game. Go ahead and get your drink on. Lance Ripka on the outside with Williams and Maurer. We're almost set to go racing here. Looks like we're going to take
beautiful twilight start to this race, Dan. If you look out, I'm sure the drivers are appreciating the view right now as we take one more to green.
Absolutely. A little nighttime sky, a little twilight time. Love it. I was out there just moments ago enjoying the twilight myself. So a nice, cool race here. I look for a couple of guys out here tonight. One of them, Person, who's second in the points. Now, he's starting back in 8th. Now, I got some experience with him on this track. He can roll it. Look for those 2-footers to do well here tonight. Here we go, folks. The start of the ACS Richmond 160. And we're green flag racing.
Well, that sucks.
And we're going to have to shut down.
Spinner in the grass on the front stretch, Dan. Looks like we're staying green.
Yeah, green. Bad start there for a couple of people. We heard a little call out there. I had to mute that on live TV. Sorry about that, folks. So Leal out here leading Ripka and Williams. Maurer holding off Newton in Person. A little further back, you can see him fanning out 2 by 2. That's Lester down on the low side. Hund up high. Here comes Darren Bruce on the high side.
It looks like we had Jason Jackson there on
Newton is around. And he came back on the track, and he is going to be out of this race by the looks of it. Your points leader, early carnage here.
Like I was saying on that restart, Dean, it looks like Jason Jackson, he didn't take off on the start, got rear-ended, spun out. So now here we are with Adam Newton.
All right, here comes Newton out of the corner, and he just takes a left turn down into the wall, folks. That's computer issues, and up onto the track. He's not even braking, and now finally regains control, I think. Too little, too late. His night is over. Man, oh man, Adam Newton has had these issues. Let's see if we can get a look back at Jason Jackson here and see what happened with him. Yeah, and that's, for whatever reason, he did not go. I think that's wrong gear, Jason.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, Dean.
And down into the grass he goes. Well, we'll re-rack him here. I mean, some people's disadvantage, other people's advantage. Jason Jackson takes to pit road. You got Lester in here as well. You got Ledford on pit road, and of course Newton in there as well.
Yeah, I'm just checking Adam's in-car here, Dan. It looks like sometimes you get that slow, lazy spin off the corner. And just looking at it, and he never corrects right, so I'm not sure. He may have had a computer issue or something went on there.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of issues Mr. Newton's had with his computer and his wheel lately, I got to feel something going on there. And also, I know he is not going to be happy about it, but who knows what exactly occurred there. I can tell you this, there's issues everywhere tonight. We had issues over with Facebook. It was spilling over to YouTube. We had issues with our apps, and now issues on the track. So have we got it out of our system yet, Jason? Is that 3 times, or have we hit the limit here?
Well, Dean, it's still early, my friend. I don't know.
All right, so according to Jason, he says open the bottle, folks. I interpret that's Canadian interpretation there, Jason.
Sorry, I don't speak Canadian.
Yeah, well, many don't. That's why I speak it often. I like to slip under the radar there.
Yes, sir.
Jason Jackson back on pit road. Come back in for a little service. You see Newton's machine, all kinds of banged up there.
Yeah, not too sure you were going to see Adam the rest of the night. That was a pretty hard lick into that inside wall.
So George Leal, he comes out of this unscathed, as do most of the top competitors. Looks like Corey Leal, our big mover, +7. So he's gained quite a few spots early. Jason Spear, he's looking strong, up 4. Octaviani, our rookie out here, he's jumped 6 spots. Then you got Stevie Knight, Olson, and Daryl Spear all making up big ground as well.
Yeah, Octaviani there, Dean. I've been watching this guy for the last couple weeks here in the league, and we call him and say he's a rookie of this league, but this guy's consistently running the top 10. He's been doing the right things, making the right moves. I think it's only a matter of time before we start seeing him compete for a win.
Well, I agree. He wants to learn, that much I know, and he's learning fast. Here we go. George Leal, Lance Ripka. You got Williams and Person in row 2. Good start by Person. Ripka slow, though, in front of him on the high side. That allows Williams to come underneath the Ripka. A little further back, Maurer and Spear getting close together. And Maurer cuts the nose of Corey Leal. Wow.
That's quite the move there, Dean. Not sure. It's a little early for that kind of move.
Well, I mean, you're clear, but it's frightening if you're the guy who has it done to you.
Yeah, you sure are, but once you do it, you can definitely expect that back from the same guy later in the race.
The 48, that's Mr. James Letford making a move. He's going to come underneath a Nathan Hardy. George Leal to set the best lap of the race. He is your leader.
Our Person aiming for a move for second place here.
Well, Bernie awful good here at Richmond. This is to be expected. The question is, Ripka, the KG vet here in third, maybe saving his stuff here for a long run.
Yeah, what a beautiful truck there Bernard's got there. New paint job done by the famous painter Scott Olson, the man, the myth, the legend there. Great paint job, good looking truck.
Yep, Mama June's Magic Relish. Go get you some out there, of course. There's Ripka and the Ripka Designs machine. He'll get you a nice, sweet design for your truck. Claus Williams sitting in 4th. How about Whitford here? Whitford and Williams, if I'm not mistaken, both had good road races last week, Jason.
Yeah, they did. I watched a little bit of that race. Saw some good, consistent driving by those guys and had some good finishes. See Bernard moving up into that high lane.
That is interesting. Hey, Bernie taking the high line. Let's ride on board with him here and see what he's doing. This time right on the yellow through 3 and 4.
Well, they do that every time, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to look for something, they won't show it to you. But he's moving up here a bit. You see him there cut down. That's a nice move here. A little late exit there. I always like that here at Richmond. And we'll see here. Guys can move up the track here. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, there's room, and then later in the run, that high line will be better. Maybe Bernie was just sticking it up there for a lap, seeing what it's like, seeing what the grip is up there. Obviously, it looks like he wasn't happy with what he found when he tried it.
Yeah, it might be a little early. Got a rubber up there. We got to see some changes to the track. We got to go quite a ways back before we find a battle. Olsen, a little wiggle off the corner. Now Olsen right behind Daryl Spear. Daryl got that nice looking color on that 32 machine. I don't know what you call it. What is that, like a cream there?
It's like a, I don't know, I'm half colorblind, Dean, but it's like a mint chocolate chip look to me.
That's exactly what it's like. You're not so colorblind. Olsen right to the tail, almost touching him there. That's a battle back here for 14th position. It looks like Olsen going to make that move now to the inside. Oh, coming up high off the corner. Boy, every pass so difficult here.
Yeah, Scott was able to stay in the throttle, though. It looks like he was going to make that pass.
Yeah, he's going to get on through, back up to the front. George Leal in first, Person in second, Ripka, Claus Williams, and Whitford. Spear lingering along with Corey Leal. So these two continue their march towards the front here. And once again, our internet frames are just not great at the moment. So if you're experiencing problems, I am quite sorry. We got some kind of connection issues going on here.
George Hill still leading out in front here. Bernard moving in ever so slowly, trying to take advantage of that high line.
Yeah, and this is the painful part, right? You get to this point in Richmond, and you're going to have about, wow, a full send from the 8. Wow, that was a very odd maneuver there. I almost thought he had an issue, a disconnect or something, but he made that work. He closed in with that move.
Yeah, he sure did. We see him getting a little loose off 4 there, though.
Let's see if he does that again there. Kind of shoots in, yes. Shooting in hot. And then cutting down the track. Now we talk about this. This is fast, but it'll wear your tires out. I mean, you know a little bit about that, Jason. Kind of using the contours of the track opposed to going against them.
Yeah, Dean, it's a driving technique to make sure that you're kind of going, what I call it, is going with the grain of the track and using the banking to your advantage as much as possible and not driving across the banking and just going with the flow of the banking.
Let's hop back on board with Bernard Person here and just see exactly what he's doing. This is a very unique line he's running. I don't know if I've ever really seen it. I mean, a little bit. Shades of someone that used to run Richmond here 1 and 2 with a very high brake bias would cut right down on your nose every corner.
Yeah, it looks like it's working for him here, Dean. He's putting a lot of pressure on George Real.
Well, he is, and he may end up changing his entry points. I mean, his braking points for the 97. You see someone keep charging your rear end, it gets scary, and this time move to the inside. Bernard Person takes a peek, not able to get there, and he's a little loose off exit. Ripka just lurking in third, along with Claus Williams. Whitford has moved up, or I guess he stayed the same. Leal's now up 8 spots into 6th. Spear starting to get heat from Nate Maurer and Darren Bruce. Bruce on the move. You got Hun back here in 10th. And then Stevie Knight. How about the youngster? He's up 7 spots here tonight, Jason.
Yeah, Stevie Knight started a little deep in the field there. He's being quite patient here as we hit lap 28, 20, going to 29. Taking his time and making some moves and making some good progress.
Looking very good. Sharp looking ride there from Stevie Knight. You got Octaviani right behind him in that Milwaukee machine. And I've been told that's not booze, that's a power tool there.
Yeah, good set of tools. They're expensive, but they're good.
There's Ledford back in 13th. Olson. Jason Jackson, who had that early problem on that restart, he's now up to 15th. You got Daryl Spear. He's sitting here with Michael Ware. Ware starting to come underneath him. Then Nathan Hardy and Fred Lester. And that's it for your lead lap cars. As a matter of fact, that's it for people who took a start in this race. Several guys not starting here tonight.
Up front, Bernard still laying some pressure on George Leal, and I think he's just keeping them interested in that mirror, making them think who's back there.
Person way up the track this time. I mean, it is getting outrageous the way he's running this thing. I don't know if he can keep this up. I don't think he can.
Yeah, you saw he got a great run down the backstretch there, though, and closed up rather quickly.
Yeah, it's just something different that I'm not used to. And they're a little more of a traditional line this time.
If you look back to third and fourth place, but every lap here, it looks like Lance Ripka and Claus Williams are inching their way forward toward these our two leaders up front.
Well, let's get a look from Person to Ripka here, and the gap you can see just a couple laps ago is starting to come down quite dramatically.
Bernard Pearson applying all this pressure up here to George. If he's going to make a move, he might want to make it soon, because it's about to get populated for that first place position when these third, fourth, and fifth place trucks catch up.
I mean, how about Derek Whitford? He's caught the back end of Williams here. So Whitford flying around last week, man. I tell you, he did so well the last couple of weeks. He is just on a different level all of a sudden.
Yeah, watching that race last week, he was throwing that truck around, and he did a heck of a job, had a heck of a drive.
Hometown of Muskegee there. The Mountain Dew truck, love that truck.
Yeah, that's the old Darrell Waltrip scheme, look-alike scheme there. Made famous by Darrell Waltrip back in the day. It was a really good-looking truck.
Yeah, I was saying last week or the week before, it reminds me too of the old Gatorade machines, one of my favorites. Spear and Maurer settling in, so everybody's settling in here. Lap 38 at 160 if we approach the quarter marker here. So look for guys to cut it into thirds, I would imagine, Jason. So we're looking at, that 55 range. If you did 55, that would take you to 165. So a little under 55 laps, we should see some pit stops happening.
Yeah, fuel not being a real big issue, Dean. They can go 70 laps on a tank of fuel, so they're probably going to want tires before they're going to want fuel. So I would expect them, like you said, to cut this in thirds. Be about lap 50, 55 when they come in.
Stevie Knight here in a battle with Octaviani. Octaviani's going to win that battle on that high side there, so Stevie Knight denied. Or it could have been vice versa. Maybe Octaviani got around him. I'm not quite sure. Ledford back in 13th. Jason Jackson. everything, like I said, settled it in. Got a real green flag feel to it here, Jason. What do you do? I mean, these top 5 pretty much know what they're doing, right? They're all racing for this win. They're all racing the same kind of strategy. I don't think anything outside of the box, but what if you're Corey Leal, Nate Maurer, Jason Spear, or someone further back? I mean, what do they got to do here? Is it a short pit, a long pit? What can they do?
Well, short track, it's a little tough. You know, you're going to gain quite a bit on that short pit. Going long may not be the benefit, and then because of it's a short track, there is more chance for a caution to come out or something to hurt that long run. But who I'm watching is Darren Bruce. Darren Bruce is the king of the pit strategy guy. Kind of waiting to see what he's going to do. Of course, watching our leader. I assume when our leader comes, everybody's going to start really thinking about it. But I'm watching Darren Bruce. See if he goes long or if he short pits it.
All right, Darren Bruce, you heard it. Going out on a limb, taking the likes of Darren Bruce there. A little sarcasm, folks. Darren, one of the great ones here in the league. Hund, who's been very solid every race, sitting here in 10th. Looking pretty strong, too. I mean, this is the time right now. These last 10 laps, who can make it happen? And look who's coming. Ripka. He knows it's the last 10 laps of this run, and he's starting to make a move on Bernard Person.
Yeah, it looks like all that hunting that Bernie was doing, trying to find a line or trying to do something different, get past George, has allowed Lance to come up to the back of Bernard Pearson, and he's giving him a heck of a fight. This is good, advantageous for George Lear to kind of drive away while these guys try and figure out second place.
Well, it really is. And the other thing is that Bernie learned a lot being up there that whole time, so it's going to be a tough pass here.
Yeah, well, these guys got, 47 laps on the tires. I mean, you know, everybody's crying about tires right now, so I'm sure they're both hurting a little bit, of course.
We hop on board with Whitford here in the 42 machine. You can see up ahead, Bernie up on the high side. Ripka still trying to find a way around him. Has to slip in behind. Claus Williams just sitting here waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Bernard's able to fend off Lance Ripka there, running that high line like that. He's just able to get that better exit off the corner, able to get a better run down the straightaways.
Yeah, I mean, he's really getting something going in 3 and 4 up there now, too. It's wild to watch. Not traditional here at Richmond, but it has been done. And, of course, now, when you've got the track changing throughout the race, these things can really have a benefit as he gets up there and tries to find some clean track.
You got Scott Olson on pit road, Dan.
So Olson in with the short pit. I love it. Trying something here to get done, and a little slow getting those right sides up. I'm not sure what that was all about, and he just disappeared. Scott Olson has disappeared while in his pits. My goodness.
Guess he was called back to the farm, Dean.
He might have been called back to the farm. We know he's busy out there with his crops and all. Wow, that's very unfortunate there. Of course, he's riding that Be Brave with Braxton car, and we like to see that truck do well, but not meant to be here tonight. So Person continues to hold second. Actually, he's starting to close in, back in on Leal here. So Person not only fended him off, but he seems to have found something here. He's taken back to the low side. So I like this. You know, you run a little bit of low, a little bit of high, Jason. You can balance those tires out a little bit, and the car just feels better.
Yeah, you can. What's interesting to see is Bernard G, he can run high, he can run low, and maintain his position. So it's really good telling to see that, and good for him. Good run.
So the pit boards are popping up. People asking for their drivers to come in. We're going to see who comes. And we're having issues with OBS and other things all around, folks. I think there's server issues at different places around the world causing some problems here tonight. Big storms everywhere these days, Jason.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rain, a lot of storms, a lot of things going on. I know we've down here in Texas, we've had quite a bit of rain here lately, a lot of storms.
So what do we got to think about here with nobody pitting? What is going on here? Do you got any theory? We're on lap 57. Are they trying to get all the way to lap 80?
I'm not sure, Dean. I don't know what the play is right now. I'm a little surprised. They got plenty of tires for this race. I mean, we're coming to lap 58. It looks like everybody's going long. Waiting on that leader to pit, Dean. Once George Leal decides to pit, they have to come.
In my opinion, such a mistake. And Bruce, first in. So Darren Bruce has enough of this. I mean, it's already a late pit stop, in my opinion. So good job by him. Jackson follows him in. So these two will be the first in. And I'm sure that'll set it off. Here comes Williams from third or fourth. And Whitford right there with him. Whitford gets around him on entrance. Great job by Derek Whitford. Wow. So our leaders go by again, though. Here comes Ripka down pit road. And that's a nice clean entrance there. Corey Leal going to join them. That's a much better, at least seemingly better at the end there. Ledford's going to pile in here. Is that pile in or file in? I'm not sure. Hardy, Hund, Octavani all on pit road. Here comes your leader, George Leal, to pit road. So very important stop for Mr. George Leal. Person remains out on the track. You got Maurer a little further back. We're going to hop on board with Maurer and see if he comes in. And there he goes, down below the yellow line. Onto pit road, hanging on to it. Great job by Nate Maurer getting on there. A decent entrance to be sure. That'll shift it over to Jason Spear, your race leader right now.
Bernard Pearson came in that lap, our leader for that lap there. Let's see what comes out. He's going to have 2 lap fresher tires to our leader, depending how this works out.
Here comes Spear. Whoa! And that was an aggressive entrance. Great job by the 83 there, sneaking it in just past the barrels. That'll stop your heart.
Yeah, that was close. That was a close, almost a huge mistake by Jason Spear, almost piling those.
Well, that's what a fast pit stop looks like, right on the verge of death. Michael Ware, your new race leader out here. Daryl Spear in second. And here comes Daryl. That's going to put Fred Lester into second. Looks like Daryl almost come back up on the track. He's okay, though. So Leal come off of pit road in front of Whitford, and then Ripka, and then Person. So a little different stop on the laps, on which lap they came in. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Right now, though, Michael Ware out here. Remember, Bruce was first in. Now, it hasn't paid off in a big way. I'm not sure what spot he came in from, but currently in 9th, Jason.
Yeah, it looks like when this cycles through, it's probably going to populate him up there in the 7th place position. But staying long was definitely not the answer. Bernard Person is going to lose.
And Darren Bruce just blinked out. So we're getting issues across the board here with different people. I really think there's some kind of weather system affecting either people individually or perhaps the server, which is in Boston. I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell us something going on out in Boston. Scott Olson saying the truck was good. I was not. I hate this place. So Ware continues to lead. There goes Leal. Or no, that wasn't Leal. Leal out here in third. Now he's about 10 seconds from our race leader. He's got us 2 seconds on Whitford and about 3.5 to Ripka and about 4.5 to Person.
They got top 2 trucks here. Still need a pit, Dean.
Claus Williams had some kind of issue. He's sitting on pit road here. I'm not sure what's going on, but Claus Williams in big trouble.
That's unfortunate for Claus. He's always got a strong truck, always a good competitor. Looking pretty good tonight, too, so far.
So Jason Spears has got his lap back. Next up will be Ledford, looking to get around Ware and Lester. But it's Michael Ware right now, and is he trying to extend this to lap 80? I mean, if he can, he's got an outside shot of pulling off something.
Yeah, lap 80, Dean. I don't know if they're going to make it on fuel. In my testing, you're only doing 70 to 74 laps on a tank of gas, so he's going to have to come in here soon. The top 2 still needing to pit. George Leal in about 5 seconds back in P3. Should take over your lead here when they do.
Yeah, and it won't be long otherwise, too. He's pulling at least a second a lap on these guys or around that area. So it won't be long now. He'll come up and regain the lead. And here comes Michael Ware. So Michael Ware coming in now. It's a slow entry there. Nice and safe for him. Fred Lester, your new race leader.
It looks like Fred Lester had stopped for fuel on lap 5 back in the race, so he's got a few more laps that he's able to go. Interesting strategy here, going long. I mean, if something were to happen right now, this would really work out in his favor. He would grab a ton of track position.
Yeah, I mean, I love the call, right? If you're sitting back there, mired 15th or beyond, why not risk it here? It's worth it. He's still leading. Leal now 2.5 seconds behind. You see him creeping into our picture. As he's also see Adam Newton back out on the track. Somehow they put a hood back on that car.
Yeah, a lot of repairs to that truck, but being that he's our current point leader, I'm sure he wanted to get out there and make sure to put some laps down and not just quit out of the race, get as many points as he can.
So you see Leal stalking now 1.3 back of Lester. We're on lap 74 of 160, approaching the halfway mark. Whitford in third and Ripka in fourth.
If you're Fred Lester, the leader's on your back now, and you've got to pit. He needs to pit right now.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does, but he might be trying to get to that 80 mark. I don't blame him. I mean, he can try a little something here, but he is going to get, passed by Leal. There's Leal now making that move. So Leal back out front. Next up will be Whitford trying to make the move. So here he comes, Derek Whitford again. Just what a great run. I mean, we got to stop talking about him as some kind of shocking development and understand Whitford's a racer, and he's showing himself as one of the top guys now.
Yeah, definitely tonight he's flexed his muscles, and looks like he's doing a really good job here, keeping pace, and up there in P2 through that cycle. It stops.
There's Ripka in Person. Now Ripka in front of Person. What can Person do here? This is the thing. He ran a couple more laps. He's got a couple lap fresher tires, but now he was so tough to pass. Now he has to work on Ripka, and Ripka's going to be tough to pass.
Oh, for sure. But I think Bernard made a mistake by staying out and leading those few laps that he did. I think the tires are going to equalize too quick, and it's just going to be too much of an issue for him to overcome.
Yeah, you could be right for sure. We'll see. Lester now falling to fifth. You got Maurer back in sixth. Now Maurer is still 3 seconds behind these guys. So these top four of Leal, Whitford, Ripka, and Person have really separated themselves from the field here.
Still don't understand this strategy by Fred Lester. I mean,
Well, he's making it to lap 80. It's lap 80 now. He may try and do one or two more because part of that was under caution. I don't think it's going to do anything for him, but it might. This would be his last stop, Jason, where everybody else will have two more stops.
I'm not seeing he's going to have 78 laps to the ending. I'm just not seeing it.
Or actually, I'm mistaken anyway. This would be his last stop, and everybody else only has one more. So it still might be a net gain for him. It may not be a race winner, but I mean, if he pulls a top 10 out of this, it's success, right?
Yeah, if he's able to. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing the strategy, Dean. I just think it's going to hurt him.
All right. Jason not seeing it, and that's understandable. Lester comes in here, so Lester relinquishes that spot. He'll fall, probably go a lap down here under pitting. He may, with fresher tires, get that lap back the old-fashioned way. Leal, your race leader.
So it looks like with that caution and him topping off fuel, he went 78 laps on a tank of gas. Get my calculator out.
Yeah, I mean, but he can do another 78. That'll make it. So I think that's a definite call for him. Person still trying to work on Ripka back here. That's a battle now for third spot.
Yeah, doing the math here, Dean, he can make it to lap 160. He can make it to the end of this race on that one stop.
Person drives it in again, high and deep and hard. Gets a big drive off the corner, but can only get back to the bumper. He's got to find a way if he wants hope here. Whitford's starting to get away a little bit, about 1.3 in front of them as he runs down George Leal, your race leader. Leal coming up on traffic now. Let's hop on board with him. As finally the internet says I'm stable, at least for a second.
Looking nice and smooth in that cockpit there.
Yeah, ahead of him, Hardy hit the wall a little bit there. Some sparks flew. Not a lot to see here. This is just traditional Richmond. It's nice and smooth. Get down on that yellow line, Jason, and it'll play well, and it is playing well for him.
Yeah, the most important part of that corner is letting that car roll through the center of the corner without getting on the gas too early, pushing those front tires.
So status quo. A little further back, you got Maurer now 4.5 behind Person. Corey Leal back here in 6th position. Darren Bruce continuing to work forward, and now Spear closing in. Spear was a late pitter, so look for him to have an advantage here late in this run. Octaviani back in 9th. There's Jason Jackson battling back from his early troubles. Ledford a little further behind, and then Hund, Darrell Spear, and Stevie Knight.
Yeah, those guys that ran the pit stop long, Dean, I don't see that tire differential really making them any gains anywhere near the top 5. Maybe farther back in the pack, you know, back 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, probably make a difference. But if you're obviously seeing that it's not working for Bernard Pearson right now.
Well, you have, I mean, a place like Richmond, you really need almost 10-lap fresher tires, right, Jason? I mean, 2, it's just not going to do a whole lot, is it?
No, especially the caliber drivers we have here. I mean, everybody's so good that, you know, you really need a big, you know, especially at this short track, you need a big differential in those tires to make a difference.
So the 64 Hardy kind of gets in there, impedes a little bit both guys. Person perhaps getting the worst of that. Whitford in front now. He is starting to lose a little bit of times to Leal, and we've seen this from Leal. Leal comes and Leal goes. could he be managing that tire temp? We talk about wear, but temp, very important, Jason.
Yeah, managing those tires, it's bigger than just wear. It's keeping them cool, taking care of them. It's all around aspect of treating your tires right, and it's very important, especially at the short track, especially at this kind of short track, where it's a very sweeping corner.
It's kind of like your woman. You got to treat her right, Jason?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes it is. Ripka still holding off Person. This is the best battle on the track. That's why we keep going to it, folks. I mean, these guys are working real hard here. They got by Hardy and Newton, and now resume their battle. I mean, I don't know. I think they're both being patient here, and they're just looking to run down Whitford here and see what they can do.
Yeah, they're all running identical lap times, really, within a couple hundredths of each other. So it's one of them things, you know, when you get up front, you're fighting the fastest guys. It just gets harder. Look to see if Bernard starts playing with his line like he was in that first run, seeing if he can find something different.
Well, he just did. So we're seeing him go back to that high line and sweeping down. Of course, like we always say, he doesn't do it when we call on it, but he did it last time through here. We'll see if he moves to the high side here. And that's a no. Entertaining green flag event here in the ACS Richmond 160. Of course, that's brought to you by Affordable Construction Specialists. Go check them out for all your construction needs down in that Carolina area, I do believe. Those guys will do you some great work. Tell them Wind Tunnel TV sent you. I find Jason Spear here very interesting. He's in this pocket. He's in front of Bruce, about, close to 2 seconds in front of Bruce. You see Bruce at the back of our screen getting loose off the corner. But Spear been very consistent here, and he's got this open area where he can make up a few seconds of time just running his line. I absolutely love that when I'm on the track. I don't want to be battling all night. I like to get out here and run my line and make up some time, Jason.
Yeah, it's good. He's kind of found his own little space there. He's been running in 6th, 7th place there all night, and just looking like Jason's having a good solid run.
So a little tidbit on restart, if we get any, these guys can go once they're in the zone, so not on the green flag this week, so we should have been paying attention to that one. There's Whitford in second, now stabilized at about 1.5 seconds behind George Leal. Ripka in third, and Person still there. Bauer closing up a little bit now, under 3 seconds to Bernard Person. This is something we see from the 971 here, Jason. We get a lot of long run guys, but Maurer proven to be yet another one.
Yeah, Maurer has always seemed to, I can't remember if he's qualified very well, usually qualifies farther in the back, but we always seem to be talking about him the end of a race, end of a run.
We really do. Lap 104, 160. Pit window is open, folks. There's George Leal going by Darrell Spear. So a nice run for Corey. He's up in 6th position. Nice night. Almost put out an ice baby there for a minute, Jason.
Almost. I think we're gonna be seeing some pit stops here shortly, Dean.
Absolutely.
I think going long, I don't think is working out. Maybe for Fred Lester, he's on a totally different strategy. He's on a one-stop strategy compared to most of these guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple guys coming to pit road here really soon. If it was me and I'm running 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place, I'm undercutting. I'm probably coming to pit road within the next 5 laps.
Well, Ripka's starting to make a late move, and we'll see this out of Ripka each and every run. The 52 starting to march up towards Derek Whitford in second place here. And he's kind of lost Bernard Person a little bit. Ripka closing quickly here. Let's go on board and see what we can find out from Mr. Lance Ripka. Nice, smooth there, little through the hump, and you got to watch that on exit. That hump will get you loose if you gas up a little too much. Little diamonding of the corner there.
Yeah, I love watching these in-cam of these drivers and watching how they handle the steering wheel and listening to their inputs and how smooth they are. And Lance Ripka is one of the best out here with those smooth hands.
Yeah, very quiet hands, small corrections here. And it looks like Whitford's coming in, so Whitford hits pit road. Good call from second place. According to me, what do you think, Jason?
Absolutely. I think this is a smart move. He'll benefit from it, hopefully, for his a few guys stay out a little bit longer, and this could be a race gaining, if not winning, move for him as we see Bernard Pearson coming in.
Yeah, and Person, you know, he's been working on pit stops quite a bit. Maurer comes in with behind him. Maurer looks like he got in pretty good. So these two, they're going to force the leader's hand here. It'll be interesting to see how long George Leal stays out. And he's not going to. Good job by him. You do not want to give up the lead. He's going to try and cover him off right here. Pretty solid entrance. Ripka comes in behind him.
Yeah, I was going to say, God, I hope he didn't stay out, because that would have been a real detrimental move for his race. He's been consistently a couple hundredths faster than these guys. I mean, if he maintains that consistency, he's going to have this race in the bag, even with the 59 laps to go here.
So Leal's in. Right behind him is Ripka. Leal's definitely going to get off before him. There goes Darren Bruce. How did he do that? I think he's almost a lap down. It must be. But there's Leal. There's Whitford. Can Whitford get by him? I don't think so. Maybe he will. Whitford going to take the race lead here. All right. Battle is on. Whitford with the early stop grabs himself the lead. Wow.
Wow, what a move. What a move, and what a difference just that lap that he was out there on fresher tires made.
I mean, it was a witty move. Ripka back in third now. Person in fourth. Maurer has creeped into the picture into fifth. Michael Ware and Lester are still on the track, but they're already in sixth and seventh. You got Leal, who's pitted. Jackson's pitted, and there's Jackson and Darren Bruce doing battle. George Leal just set the fastest lap of the race, and this could be problematic, Jason. You get in second, right? You get beat off at pit road with the guy who pits a little earlier. Now you start pushing that truck. Will he be the same on the long run?
Yeah, this can be tough. It's a lot easier to go out there out front and lead some laps. Then it's a lot, like I said, a lot different than trying to run somebody down. So this will be a real telltale sign of how good George Leal is, whether or not he's able to run Derek Whitford down and pass him. He's dominated this far, but it's a lot different than leading out front clean air and then between trying to run somebody down.
So all our competitors spread out a little bit. Whitford, though, in heavy traffic. That allows Leal to close up just a little bit. Whitford has to check for Stevie Knight up high, and now Leal creeps right into the picture. So race car drivers, boy, they see traffic and they smell an opportunity and they ramp it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You use a lap car to pin your guy you're racing some way and extend your lead, or use them to have an overtake and get in front, take that lead over.
So other guys like Ripka, Person, and Mauer are hoping these two take to battling each other and that it goes on for some time, and that'll bring them right into the picture. We're on 40 to go here in the ACS Richmond 160.
Really impressive run by Derek Whitford here. Watching his lap times, he's being nice and smooth and consistent, and it looks like he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, taking a very high entry, low exit there, getting a nice run out of the corner. This is a great line and one that's very, very tough to beat. He's right behind James Ledford here. You go back to Leal. Leal right behind Whitford.
Yeah, Ledford being the last car in the lead lap here, running 13th place. I'm interested to see how much of a fight he's going to put up here if Derek Whitford gets to his bumper. How much those lap cars are going to play into this battle for the lead?
Well, they're already playing in. This dirty air alone hurting Whitford a little bit. And, of course, Leal in more dirty air. So these guys are both slowed down slightly. And I got to tell you, Ripka has advanced. It's just not much. It's Richmond. You're talking about hundreds of a second here, Jason.
Yeah, and all of our top four here are all within about 3 to 4 hundredths of a second between them. So they're running real similar, very similar laps right now.
Interesting to watch. We go back to Ripka, and you can just see Ripka right down on that yellow line. Patient with the throttle on exit. Early braking. Trying to roll the center. Kind of gets stuck up there. The curve looks very tight.
Yeah, it looks like he's waiting on it through the exit of the corner, exiting off low there so he can get the power down to maintain his lap times.
Person just sitting here in fourth, not feeling like he's got something that can make a move. But he is still only 2.8 from race leader Whitford. Whitford comes underneath the 75 here. That's Michael Ware up there. So Leal closes in, but can't do anything with it.
Yeah, Michael Ware on that, looks like he's on that one-stop strategy along with Fred Lester. So he's quite a bit at a tire deficit to these lead lap cars here.
Two-man battle. I mean, no matter what happens at this point, you have to call it a win for Whitford on pit road, Jason. I mean, he come in a couple laps early, jumped Leal, and took the lead.
Yeah, it is, Dean, but the only thing I'm worried about, if he's not able to maintain up there and Leal's able to get by him, what kind of damage is he going to do to his tires to be able to ward off Lance Ripka, Bernard Person there? If he has to fight George Leal hard, it will affect his tires, and it will affect where he lands at the end of that fight.
Well, I'd agree, except for when I went in car, what I was noticing, or what my thoughts were, was actually Whitford looked like he was the quieter, that he was rolling the center a little better than Leal. Leal looked like he was pushing a bit. I'm concerned about Leal on this run, even though he's got fresher tires. And you got to look a little further back, someone like Ripka, who's now 1.7 away from the race lead. He is coming. I mean, Ripka known to be a tire saver, or at least a long-run guy. I think these guys got to be concerned, and Ripka's got to be concerned that they're too wide in front of him. That opens up for him nicely, though.
And Whitford's still able to maintain up there in that P1 position now. Leal right on his heels.
Good battle. These guys, we only have 10 cars on the lead lap, folks. Michael Octaviani, the last car on the lead lap, he is going to be in jeopardy going a lap down here shortly. As you can see, our leader's right behind him. And this is reminiscent of what we've seen with Person and Ripka, right? You can get there, Jason, but can you do anything with it?
Yeah, it's tough, especially when those tires equalize between two guys. It's really makes the pass really difficult. You got both of them, and a little dirty air for the leader there with coming up on the last car on the lead lap, and then you got George Leal in dirty air of Derek Whitford. So both of those guys are in a particular situation that it's rather difficult for them both.
It certainly is. And it's all kind of stabilized now. Ripka is still 1.7 and more behind Derek Whitford, so not making up any real ground. You got Bernard Person trying to make a late charge here, but nothing doing at the moment. It's Maurer who's in 5th. Corey Leal in the Mountain Dew machine back in 6th. It's Jason Tito Jackson sitting here in 7th position. You got Darren Bruce, who's worked his way up to 8th. Then it's Jason Spear in 9th. And back to Octaviani, the last guy in the lead lap. And I don't think he will be for long, because there's our leaders.
Yeah, the last few laps, George Leal's been really putting the pressure on Derek Whitford here. And he's really filling his mirror. He's there. If he makes a mistake, he's going to be on him.
Now you get close like this, what can you do here? Is there a different line you can take? Can you stick your nose out? What is it that you can do here, Jason?
Being at this track, you could probably stick your right front out a little bit, or either your left front below him or right front out. Just grab a little air on that nose of your car behind that leader and try and gain a little bit of advantage. But it doesn't look like George is doing that. Looks like he's just playing with his food right now, getting ready to pounce.
Well, I like the way you put that. Playing with his food, according to Jason. I beg to differ. I don't know. I think he's already tried everything he can try, and he's there. But I don't think with 22 to go, he'd be playing with his food. But you could be right. Leal closing right into the bumper.
Well, I've been watching
a little
the last
rough,
few
maybe.
laps. Yeah, I've been watching the last few laps, team. George Leal's been a lot stronger through the center of the corner, which is exactly where you want to be. At this point, I really think it's just a matter of time before he gets under him.
All right, 20 to go. The 97 is there. And don't look now, but Ripka down to 1 second. Ripka appearing on the stage. That's why Leal's pressing. Here comes George Leal looking for the lead. Whitford trying to hold him off. This is going to bring Ripka right into the picture, folks. They stay side by side, heading down into 1. Octaviani right in front of them. Whitford trying to stay on that. He does stay on the quarter panel. Big run from the outside. They're still fighting. What a battle. Leal low. Whitford high. At the line, it's still Whitford. Ripka now to 0.87 seconds behind these two. Leal tries a full send. That doesn't work. The battle raging on. These guys wearing their stuff out. My goodness. This time Leal deeper. Still not clear. Whitford hanging in, but it's Leal at the line this time. This time, one more send, and Leal clears them. It's George Leal back out front. Whitford, again, might be looking at heartache. And there's Ripka. He's closed right in on this battle. 18 to go.
Yeah, what a great move by George Leal there. He kind of diamond the corner, sent it in kind of high in 1 and 2. And diamond the corner on exit, got a good run out of the back stretch, get to the inside, and then he just grounded out there with Derek Whitford. Derek Whitford put on a good fight, good hard fight, but just wasn't able to maintain.
Yeah, it was a great fight from Whitford, no doubt. Octaviani now in front of our race leader, trying to hold the lead lap, and he's gonna back out there. I like that move. I mean, He liked to have that lead lap, but he didn't want to influence this race either. Behind him, Whitford with Ripka right behind him. Ripka looking for racing room now. This is allowing Leal to open it up a little bit. He's now back a second in front of Lance Ripka and about 0.8 in front of Whitford. So Leal has set sail. And my broadcast mate here was correct. He was playing with his food, Jason.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I just saw him in the center of the corner. He was gaining on him hard in the center of the corner. He was just buying his time and waiting for the right moment. And he made a move. He took that high entry in a one and had a lot of drive off down the back stretch and was able to get inside of him. So it was a really good move. Well,
and it's smart too, right? I mean, we talk a lot about it. Guys press too soon, too fast, too hard. They burn their stuff up. Leal took his time and it paid off.
Yeah, it was a very patient move. It was very smart racing.
So you might say Whitford got outwitted there a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you could. You know, it's just smart racing. You know, he didn't burn his stuff up trying to get by him. He didn't try and make, a bunch of extra moves. He sized them up and he figured it out and he said, all right, he made this choice to make the move. And when he did, he got inside of him and they fought it out. And he was victorious in that moment.
Ripka now desperate to get around Whitford, but Whitford doesn't want to give up any more, nor should he. We're on 10 to go, or 11 to go, I should say. So Whitford trying to hang on to second. Here comes Ripka right to the bumper, a little check, trying to get a big run out of 2 here. He's been a little better out of 2, not this time.
Yeah, I'm concerned for Whitford right now about how much he used those tires up. He's pretty smooth through 3 and 4, but he's struggling through 1 and 2.
Yeah, you see there the car a little bit loose. Move to the inside. Here comes Ripka trying to take second away. I think Whitford might give it up, but I'm wrong. Wow, what a battle. He battles back and stays in second. So it's Leal, Whitford, Ripka, Person, and then you go back to Maurer. Maurer now fighting Bernard Person for that 4th position. And he gets loose. That'll allow Person to slide ahead of him or stay in front of him. Corey Leal back in 6th. Jason Jackson in 7th. Spear in 8th. It's Bruce in 9th. Octaviani in 10th. We just seen him go a lap down, so only 9 left on the lead lap. You got Ledford, Hund, Daryl Spear in this mint chocolate car. I like that. And then Lester and Ware, who tried that other strategy, not really paying off. They're 14th and 15th here. And then Nathan Hardy 16th, Stevie Knight in 17th. And they got Newton, Williams, and Olson, who all have struggled here tonight. But it's been George Leal in the 97, and mostly wire to wire, but he had to fight for it here late after those pit stops. You see Whitford has fallen off significantly. Now Ripka looks to the high lane here. Something out of Bernard Person's playbook. Looks for the big run. Does he have it? No. So he is trying anything here, Jason.
Yeah, Derek Whitford has been doing everything he can to keep Lance Ripka behind him as Ripka gets to the inside here, but Whitford's still able to come around on the outside there, exiting 2.
And meanwhile, Maurer gets around Person, so move Maurer into 4th, Person to 5th. So great job by Maurer again, proving he is one of the long-run guys here and a great race car driver. But it's been all George Leal. He's going to come down to the line. It'll be 3 to go here in the ACS Richmond 160. And the line, of course, is after this corner. So 3 to go here. Whitford still trying to hold off Ripka. Ripka dives deep, has to check, but he's got position. Finally, the 52 is going to get on through here. Well, hold on, folks. Not quite yet. And here comes Maurer out of nowhere.
Yeah, Derek Whitford is fighting hard on that outside, which is bringing Maurer right up on him.
Maurer with a big send. He is closing fast. My goodness, we're going to have a last lap battle, but it won't be involving George Leal. Leal coming to the line to take the white flag here. George Leal, what a night for him. Battle for second, third, and fourth continues to rage on. Whitford down to the inside. Maurer closes in. Ripka holds him off from the high side. George Leal coming around through 3 and 4. George Leal going to win the ACS Richmond 160. The battle for second, Ripka wins, but the third place, Maurer put in the wall. Whitford sideways, crossing the line. Whitford wins that battle, my goodness.
Wow, what a battle for P2, P3 there at the end. That was some good driving. Maurer just comes in there at the end of the race. Grabs himself a top 4.
Man, they wanted to talk to us tonight. That battle for third was something there. Great job by Whitford, though. He really hung on after that late pit stop. But how about George Leal? The natural light machine, the 97 here, taking victory. This will be about his third victory, if I'm not mistaken, which I probably am. But a great job by him tonight, Jason.
Yeah, it was, Dean, and he was very patient. I believe he had full confidence in his truck, and took his time and ended up being able to bring it to the checkered flag first.
Look at this. He's drawing some googly eyes for us there. That's some good donuts right there from the natural light machine. He's still celebrating out there. You gotta love it. Right now, let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some race interviews in. Back here at Richmond, where it was a great green flag event outside of an early caution there, a little problem, and perhaps a restart problem. But outside of that, a great event. Leal almost wire to wire, but had to come back and take it away from Whitford late there. I mean, this is the type of races you love to be involved with, Jason.
It is, Dane, and Leo had a really strong truck tonight. We saw it. He was really patient when he needed to be, and he was able to take that truck and get a win with it. It was a really smart, strategic run for him tonight.
You look at our results there. Of course, we talked a lot about the top 10. In 11th, you got Ledford, and then Hun, Spear, Lester, Ware, Hardy, Knight, and Newton. And with those problems, I'm not sure what happened with him. Same goes for Claus Williams. He looked like he might be a player tonight, wasn't meant to be. Of course, Scott Olson, early trouble or early exit from tonight's race. But let's go ahead and get right into tonight's interviews as we'll bring in the 42 of Mr. Derek Whitford, who's been on a bit of a roll. Just want a little bit more, don't you, Derek?
I'm trying, man. Always a bridesmaid.
Well, not always, right? I mean, it doesn't last forever. Hopefully you're not 50 years old, bridesmaid, before you get married here, Derek. But great showing again, man. You put your name up here, as a guy to contend with each and every week. Talk a little bit about the decision to pit early there and grab that lead.
Yeah, I had a strategy going in, basically break it up into 3 sections, and then we had the early caution, so I kind of messed it up a little bit, but I decided cut it in half after the first green flag stopped and just stick with that, which fortunately was undercutting the leaders. That's what got me out front. I was hoping I could hold them off, but just couldn't quite do it.
Were you a little surprised then? You're doing a more of a traditional strategy that you were like the first guy in, Derek. Was that a shock to you?
Kind of, but that last pit stop after I came in, everybody came in within a few laps, so they didn't stretch it out like they did on the first green flag stop.
So tell us a little bit about the end there. Of course, you're holding off. You're doing a great job holding off George. I mean, it seemed maybe George had a little bit in the tank. He was being patient, but did you think, hey, I might be able to just hold him off for the whole thing here?
Yeah, that was my hope. I was hoping the short pit would get me out in front of him, which it did, and then I hoped to make it really difficult to pass, so maybe he would burn up his tires a little bit more and not be able to get around. It didn't quite work out.
Well, it may not have fully worked out, but like I said, Derek, you definitely putting your name out here the last few weeks, man, as a guy to contend with. That's got to feel good. You're in the ranks of the Ratliffs and the Ripkas and everybody else now. We can throw Whitford in there as well. That's got to feel kind of nice.
Yep, it does, and it's just a lot of fun out here.
And it is. We love calling it. We love watching it. Great job tonight, Derek. Congrats on third. Any shout outs, anybody you want to holler at, you go right ahead.
Shout out to my teammate Jason Jackson. I think he missed a shift on the start of the race. I got in the back row and turned him, but he ended up with a nice finish, so good for him. And thanks for these guys for putting on this race. It's such a fun league.
All right, Jason, that's Derek Whitford, third place tonight for the number 42.
Yeah, Dan, and I got Lance Ripka here. We're start calling him the closer because he's always closing these races out. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that P1 spot, but in the end, he was making the big moves to gain positions there and got P2. Lance, how do you do it, man? How do you run these, make these long runs, and at the end there, you're the fastest guy on the track?
Well, you just got to take care of the tires, man. Beginning of the run, I let a few cars go because I just knew that they were going to come back to me. There's no need to let it eat right away. Just save your tires so you got something there at the end.
Yeah, well, it was a great run. It was fun to watch. It was a great battle there between you and Derek in those closing laps. Unfortunately, you ran out of laps to get anything to have anything for George. You think if this had another 5-10 laps or something like that, you may be able to make a run for it?
I think I could have caught him. I don't know if I would have been able to pass him. My right rear was pretty torched at the time. It was hard going down the straightaway, so I think maybe I could have got to his bumper, but I don't think I would have been able to pass him. He was just too fast all night.
Yeah, he was. He was very fast, consistent all night, too. Yeah, catching him and passing him, two different things. Well, anyway, Lance, it was a great run tonight. It was fun to watch. Always fun to watch you, especially in those long runs. To see you do well on those long runs. Anybody you'd like to thank or any sponsors you'd like to shout out?
I want to give a shout out to Ripka Designs, Affordable Construction Services, and the community church. Everybody in the background makes this league happen. All the guys that were driving it, and you guys throwing on the show, man.
Well, good, man. Good race. Great run, Lance. There's Lance Ripka, your second place finisher.
All right. Great job by him. But I'm sitting here with the number 97, George Leal, down in victory lane once again. George, what a race, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys. I'm still pretty pumped up. My heart was pounding through my chest there.
Well, and it should be, George. You have a great race, great start. Got a nice little lead. Nothing too cozy, though. Got lots of guys thinking about taking it from you. And someone does. You have a pit stop and you get jumped. What were you thinking? Tell us about when you first come out of the pits and you were behind Whitford.
Yeah, well, it started on that run before that, the second run, I guess. I was sitting there thinking that I would split it 50-50, and then I was pretty much thinking I would see what everybody else does. Well, then the 42 pitted, and I'm like, I could either pit now or try to get a couple laps fresher tires on them because those guys were beating me towards the end of the run. So that's what I did. I tried to run a couple hard laps there, and then when I come out on the backstretch, I was like, dang, I mistimed it just a little bit, but luckily I was able to get around him.
Well, you were, and now, Jason coined the phrase there, you were playing with your food. Was that the case, George? Were you just biding your time, or were you trying everything you could, and it just didn't really work till late?
No, I was talking with Lance after the race, and I've got to get better. Like in the middle of the runs, I need to really get more out of my car. I think I just underdrive it a little too much. Like that lap 20 to 35 range, it seemed like everybody was catching me, and it was the same thing in practice. This setup was a little loose on exit, and I think I was just getting off the corner just a little too easy, to be honest with you. And that last run, I pushed it.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to adjust. You got to learn. And you're listening to some of the best. Heck, you are some of the best now, George. We're saying that about Whitford. I mean, you made this leap weeks ago. Whitford looks like he's making the leap as well. We got several competitors in this league, man. It's getting tougher and tougher, ain't it?
Oh yeah, there's a handful, at least 10 guys that can win any given week, and just depending on what track suits that person. You might be racing 2 or 3 different guys this week, and like last week at the road course, Thomas Wolf just comes out of nowhere and just smokes everybody. So there's a bunch of good guys.
Yeah, there really is, and it makes it exciting for us. I'm sure it makes it exciting for you. Great night here tonight down in Victory Lane, celebrating it again. Starting to get used to it. You're starting to be a multiple winner here in the league. I absolutely love it, George. Congrats on this victory. We'll give you the floor, brother. Any sponsors or anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to ACS once again for supporting the league. Also, the Dirty Spatula over in the Xfinity Series. You guys are putting on a great broadcast. I can't wait to watch the battle with Whitford tomorrow. And I also want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, passed away a few days ago, unfortunately, but thoughts and prayers with his family.
Well, we certainly second that. We don't know who, but definitely tough times always call for those prayers for everybody. But Jason, there's nothing like Victory Lane here when you got a little heavy heart, and George Lee will put it in Victory Lane.
Yeah, he did, and he dominated all night, and he ran a smart race, took care of that truck, saved enough for the end of there, and was able to get by Derek Whitford for the win.
It was a lot of fun, man, and it usually is. We encourage you to come out every Thursday here at 9:10 p.m. to catch out RGR Racing and this truck series brought to you by ACS, the Affordable Construction Specialist, if I can get it out of my mouth. But thrilling night. Hope you come back. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Jason Martin, who I thank a lot for being here tonight, that'll wrap it up from Richmond.